Hi Erasmus parents. In today's video, I'll show you how to run a session as a parent. So first, you'll want to log in to your parent account. Once you are logged in, you will see your child's name below yours. From here, you'll notice we have a session called Parent Session. Your session might be named something differently. That just depends on what your child's supervisor has decided. But you'll also see in that session a green button that says Start Session. Let's click Start Session. First, you'll see a preparation page. This preparation page will give you the opportunity to review all of the goals that you're going to be working on. So we see 5 goals here. And above that, we'll see a message from your child's supervisor. This one says, reminder to read program instructions to learn how to set up a successful teaching opportunity and how to collect data. Your child's supervisor can customize these messages for you. If you want to take a closer look at any of the program instructions, you can simply just click into a program. I will click into hand washing routine here. Now I can review the instructions. Maybe I'll see what materials I need, the environment or context in which I'll be running this teaching opportunity, and then my child supervisor will have some instructional notes that they might want me to read. And these would be helpful to know how to set up a successful hand washing routine with my child. And I can click into any of the other programs to review that information as well. Once I feel ready, I can click either the play button in the bottom right of the page or the start session button in the bottom left. I'll click the play button. And now I am on my child's data sheet. So this is where I come to collect data. Right now you're just seeing one program, which is the following simple one-step instructions. I have a few ways to view this data sheet. One way is to use the tab in the bottom middle of the page. If I click that, now I can see my 5 programs and I can just switch between them by clicking around on each box. Another way to see my programs is using these arrows in the bottom right. So I can click Next Program, and then I can go back as well. One last way to view your programs is by zooming out. So now I see all of my programs and all the targets for each program. Let's zoom back in. So right now, we're looking at our following simple one-step instructions. As a parent, the first thing I'll want to do, if I didn't already in the preparation page, is click where it says instructions. Again, your instructions are where your child supervisor will give you information on how to set up a successful teaching opportunity. So they might include things like the materials you'll need, the context in which you'll teach, as well as maybe some steps on how to teach. From here, you're going to click any of these 3 targets. So let's click Sit Down. I'll see that in order to collect data, I can make a selection. I can either choose plus, which might be a correct response. A minus would be an incorrect, and that one that says prompted just means that my child needed a little support. So depending on the response, I'll just select the most appropriate one. And now we have just collected data on each one of those targets. Below that, you'll see a section that says Program Notes. This is where you, as a parent, can leave a note to your supervisor. You can use this for anecdotal data, so you can say something like, David followed a novel one-step instruction to clean up. This could be helpful in communicating to your child's supervisor that the child is now responding to novel instructions, for example. Below program notes, you also have the ability to take photos or record videos, so for permanent product, or maybe you want to take a video and show your child following a simple one-step instruction, and your child supervisor would be able to view that recording or that picture that you took. I'm going to click Next Program. Here's an example where maybe your child has something that looks like this, which we might call a task analysis. So this is a hand washing routine, and a task analysis is all of the steps one would need to complete in order to wash their hands. So here you'll notice, if I click Turn on Faucet, there's a new drop down with more selections. So again, depending on the support required, you might need to point to the faucet for them to turn it on. You might need to tell them turn on, and that would be a verbal. Your child supervisor will help you determine which selection would be most appropriate and what each one means for their data collection. Here's a play skills goal, and again, a different selection, just a plus or a minus, correct or incorrect. Did your child take a turn at least once per activity? And you would just record plus or minus. Another goal could be requesting an item or person activity. Here we'll see we have some words that we want our child to say, and we can just click plus if they said it, minus if they didn't, or maybe prompted if you needed to prompt them to say more. And then you might have some behavior reduction goals that you're collecting data on. So let's say my child displays screaming or protest behavior. For this, I can click instructions, and maybe the child supervisor has all of this information written out for you here, as well as things you can do to prevent the behavior, as well as how to respond to the behavior. And you'll see here it says data collection. Each scream or protest is one occurrence. So let's say your child displayed screaming 3 times during an activity. You would just click this play button here for the observation time, and then click 1, click 2, and click 3. And now we've recorded all of our data on all of our programs, and we can click Finish Session. And now we'll see our session has been completed.